All right, a very good evening and welcome aboard to the Podium show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review everything in the world of motorsports on this 6th day of January 2024. Happy New Year to all of you, and let's hope 2025 brings good memories, a completion of various plans, most of all, the gift of life from the Almighty God. Surely. Awero abaganda bagamba omulamu yakola, so surely tsoka tuno obulamu buberewo and tuberenga n'ensi tujiwangalira mu kubanga abasiraamu bagamba nti bayine sale gamba nti basaba Allah abalamu abawangaze then abagondeze ne dunia. So mbagaliza nnyo omwaka omulungi gwa 2025 and it should be a prosperous 2025. 6 days into the new year, in a program associated 2025. Welcome aboard to be every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight with a preview and review of the latest in the world of motorsport. One Fufa TV no 2.1 Fafama, Zuneziri and the Fufa Media Services, Yuso Wango Sangano Fufa Complex, Mengo Plot 879 Albert Kokuro Doja Fufa Complex, Yumukumisoko Kwaniza, ye merchandise shop, ya Eriko Fufa Complex, also Wango Sanga Mujozija, Uganda Cranes. All sizes, mitwale 3, mitwale 5 ne mitwale 10 n'ebiri. So surely so kwangu jana ofuniyo mjozo gwa Uganda Cranes on Fufa
ne mipira
complete force ne mipira zakayo mipira mitwale 5 ne mitwale 10 wandi ndo kubanga inayo ofuna, so kubanga ufuna no Fufa complex kale nze kesho manyiza program eno nina Aaron Samba ne Job Brewer. Good enough our topical discussion nako lwalero bano na ababiri babadde mu interaction wakati wa bad drivers ne FMU management plus the sporting commission yabadde wali kwesa ne hotel NANKULABYE nako lwajjo tujja kwa tuba buli basodo kwanga bive a number of changes. Deliberations were made and let's hope for the better, but that and more in the due course of this program. Last week twali wano ne tabamalira yoko ku recap ka 2024 Jakaitamu Komangu in a nutshell, so that we can have more time to discuss what transpired yesterday mo FMU Computer Symposium. Which was the 5th day of January 2024. A number of computers were there, events. I even saw ones that are taken long without seeing. Na kuna labi adda rudo kulabika ko mu sako zinaso rudo kubanga jana gracing omukolo. But of course stories over WhatsApp 0703810371 0703810371. I will definitely respond to your question or comments accordingly. We definitely respond to your question accordingly. Number I wizo ko uzechi uzo Aaron atenga inoche didam. Wale bamanyo mubuza na off enaga wa kino ate tabu yini. Anyway, Joe, happy new year Aaron, and Joe, happy new year and hello to our viewers.
Batulaba batuweza mwe namba namsizanyo nange kamba kuliseyo a very happy new year. Tulibasanyo fun tusobodde okubeera okutambula ennaku zino mukaaga zisoose mu mwaka guno, era tusaba nti omwaka nga bwe gutandise ebintu bye tunaba twogerako about motorsport ne bina bye tulina ebya motorsport bitambule birungi, forget all the whole about that is going on. Ebinze subira to one way or the other bijja tereera nga bigonjeddwa mu ngeri mu bendala. Abonna byonna gye mukuteeka engalo business zamwe associations zamwe zo namba nsaba zitambule bulungi omwaka guno and all your wishes and targets become successful. Naye nga it was good to be in the symposium yesterday okulaba abantu ababaddeyo. Very happy that Mike Mukura Jr. showed up just in time for the closing photograph, but it was a good show. Era neyanza nyoba abategesi Jonas Musa n'abalala abadde mu gondeyo ne ba presenters abaddeyo Leon Senyange, Omama Yanja n'aba contributing ze Kesh Aaron abayombye nagwe mucho enze nsonga nkulu nnyo. I hope that issues as are raising will be taken note of and the necessary and required change will be made before the final draft. Kubanga not abantu totally expecting some of those considerations to be taken into account. But it was a good show. I wish you happy listening and watching.
Yeah, okubanga abadde mu symposium president yakoze we had a concluding remarks agambye nti he thought the politics waabwe wa parties parliamentary n'ebirala world politics yali nnyo omuzibu ennyo naye ate ali mu motorsport naga hats off for you guys natugirako enkofiira agamba I just can't believe what I'm seeing. Aaron, happy new year and hello to our viewers.
Abatulaba mwenna n'abatuliza ku Fufa TV ne Fufa Radio. Happy new year. Soka era bakuliso kuliko omwaka omupya omukadde atusaba omwaka omupya ogujja kutambulire bulungi fenna. Nsoko kwebaza management era nkutisa management ya Fufa Media Services okuyita mwaka omukadde bitukubya amabega era nembagaliza tusigale bwe tuti n'omwaka guno mpya nga mutulera nga mutuwa omukisa twebaza era tweyanza nnyo twakisa kano okubanga sifa abasinga naye ffe mwatuleseewo era mwatwagadde nnyo nakati ti programu yaffe ekyagenda maaso ya Podium so twebaza nnyo engineer Moses ne bonna okwatagaza nawe ebintu abatuwa akakisa kano okubeera ku mpewo za Fufa TV ne Fufa Radio. Mwenna abasobodde okubeera mu symposium y'abavuzi munamba kulisaayo deliberations zabadde nungi waliwo ne flyers ezavuddewo ko ne zambukamuko olw'ensonga ezimu oba endala naye era ffe nalina tugikola lwakuba twagala omuzannyo guno tetuyinza kubanga tetuyinza waliwo ebituuka nga birina okwambukamu butuufu kubanga abamu bitukwatirako ddala nnyo naye gwe muzannyo gwe twagala era gwe tulina okubeeramu era gwe tulimu sijja kusobola kuva wano nengenda ne nkayanira mu ludo kubanga si gwe ndimu era nkayanira wano gwe ndimu ogw'emmotoka z'empaka so gwe gwange siiza guvaamu era nja kusigalamu nga nkyakukayaniramu ate era nga olw'okuba nga mba njagala ebirungi bigende mu maaso era bidubeemu. Abafunye obuzibu mu mwaka gwe tukubya amabega nja gutwalira wamu wonna tusaba Mukama abagumye nammwe abafunye ebirungi omwera ku mwaka gwe tukubya amabega Mukama tusanyukire wamu nammwe tweyanze omwaka omupya ogutandise.
Okay, prosperous 2025
oyogedde ku kya Fufa shop eroze nembakanga mwawo Suna mwami Suna musanzeyo era abikoze byonna mwami Suna musanzeyo andabidde ddala twerabye bulungi nyo era nkozeeko na muzigo mwereere era bembikoledde bigenda bajja kakasaayo kituufu
kale nendoza food for thought. Okay, by the way, we've talked about those things. Yeah, before you go in for a break, I'll ask Joe, do you remember your first event?
Yes.
Which one was that?
It was, I think, an UMC sprint in Lubidi.
And I highlights of it?
That was in 2010.
I
told that twavuga mu jeans and t-shirts nale mu two-wheel nga nvuga ne balondemu yali yajja I think that Monday nankuba akatabo nangamba competition rules zizo genda osome how it affects the what the sprint nenfuna regs nensomamu word for word tutuka mu gundi twatambula nga ndaba nti emmotoka eringa ng'etambula nenga ogenda okulaba results nga temuli twali I think out of 47 cars we were thinking 40 something. Okay. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. First event? Your first event in running?
My first event co-driving. Chewunisa nange naina Gilbert balondemu.
Where?
That was Masaka Rally. It was a 2010 era over 2010. 2011 naline Faruk Sentongo. So it must have been 2010 as well nayo. Gendooza kubanga either 2011 ngitandika.
No, 2012 kubanga watula balondemu after me. Ate why you start with balondemu is because nalingenze no form. And that was our first event. Route opening in 2012.
It's 2011.
So it was 2012.
2011 navuga ne
No, yes,
2011
it was still, no, 2011.
2011 navuga halfway ne Farouk Sentongo, so
before Sentongo it was Gilbert.
Yeah, I was with Gilberto. That event in Masaka, very, very interesting thing. Tutanika stage njukia bulungi Kadugala Chanjale. 4 kilometers down the road, boy on the hood, yali top notch na time mapesa. Pisa ko serika ngeringe nyonyi. Ya Gilberto chichi. Sajja muleke bagende 6 kilometers down the road tumusanga parking wa bali Gilberto nasho wali olabi echo tugende utalo wali wa manyi nyo twakubala diete omo twakola kitwaya byempire ebiri talo wali wa manyi nyo ne stage twagifuluma
twali majimalako
twavuga stage biri zokka
netuvamu. Why I asked that question? Because I got a message from one of a view of this show. Nagamba Aaron and Gilberto, Aaron and George share something common. Kati neda chingambi. But you have something in common. I just okay, we're going for a short commercial break. When to come out, tributes were paid to Ken Block, who passed on last year. But okay, we'll get back after a short commercial break and of course deliberating that and more on today's show at Comeo. Right, coming back from that short commercial break, it's the Podium show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight. We have a preview and review in the world of motorsport. Nzeka Shomanza program on this 6th of January 2025. We wish you a prosperous 2025. Prior to that, we talked to Ken Block last year. Twali wanonga early on the year. We talked about the Maori Agaso kukuba agalia ngatali marungi mu the world of motorsport. Demise Ken Block. It reminded me of, in fact, I showed it work after Ken Block ngamazo kufatwa jikwane hajo mama yanja. Naja natuwa huge history about intibaji mukane hivyo. Nae incident ya Ken Block yali synonymous na ya Michael Schumacher. The only difference in yawali kufati hivyo Ken Block 20 yali incident yali nti Schumacher yaona okay yaona he didn't pass on na Ken Block passed on bonanga bali mu skating
ice
skating. In fact Ken Block ya fa till end of 2023 na yene tukola the first show in 2024 when we talked about him. Any one or two things about him?
No, Ken Block was an exciting guy. Not too long ago, in interest when actually Linda a biography about him, Nebia Mutwala Mugundi. What shocked him is that Kuwanga for him has always been a stuntman,
stunt driver,
and not so much into competition. We are becoming a big item competition championship America with his company Monster and DC shoes. So Balimukwe was how do we improve our brand through you and all the elements. Katnibaleta Batandika Gunya Jim Kana Nengatena Pekinga. So to improve your brand, let us take you to the World Championship. Na agenda na Voga WRC. Not so much as to compete, but to try to promote his brand, everything. You know, when Ken Block entered WRC, his brand shot up by over 70% because the whole of America, for the first time, Katne picking an interest in motorsport, in rallying itself. Kuwanga in America, he was a very big guy. His issue was to do, I think, 2-3 events. It's a very challenging and interesting level of competition. Yasangam WRC, too much professionalism, which he also adopted. Natwala Mutimiye, which was managing his local competition. After the 2-3 years yaliyo, I think I was there for about 3 or 4 years. Nachita naddayo navuga American Rally Association Championship, where he was actually a very big brand, and he's mainly known for his organizations, his business achievement and development programs as a motorsport. Under his DC shoe company and that arrangement jaina ba promoting a new motorsport. So he became a motorsport ambassador in Kenya, and it kept on growing up. Era yaleta abantu banji ba pastrona bona yabawandika ba that guy with a different name. Simunok. Yes. Era in the whole process, Subaru built its rallying legend almost around him, but as a whole brand. So all those things moved up. And unfortunately, he had a partnership with the Ford, which eventually took him on. So that's all about Gymkhana. Zunazune singers are Ford. What I found very interesting was that Ford Giaina, I think in 2014, one car, it is just adjusted. After one day, the whole car is refit from tarmac to gravel. Kajaina motoka Ford ngena kutebefanana nga bajichusa nevuga rally cross, nevuga Gymkhana, nevuga ne rally itself. So he had created a very good brand for himself and very good elements about him. So the drifting stance yalakolezo. Around the same time, nafe twainayo omulalo nga naye atandise bayita Peter Kalule. So
you gonna scan block. Yeah, of course. Twali mwecho there's something that Charlie in F1 circles. Michael Schumacher was 56 years, but if you look at his career in F1 in numbers. 306 starts. 155 podiums, 91 victories, 66 pole positions, 77 fastest laps, and 7 world titles. Ken Block, incident we took off, he passed on. Michael Schumacher has been in the state Jari Munakati for a very long time. I remember when the family I think the hospital bills nga nyingi nebasalawo okumujja mu ddwaliro after a long stay in the hospital ne bamutwale waka up to now nakati akyafuna that tufuna you don't get even on his 56th birthday we expect maybe the family to come out with a statement of okay they need privacy but it's so natural apart from knowing achaliwo and that's all you can. Any memories of Block?
That can I say Gymkhana yakwata abantu omwabiri nnyo remember seno tuyakolanga Gymkhana dala byafuula omusajja oyo w'ekitale nnyo not only mu America naye ne mu nsi yonna. His venture in motorsport somehow coincided ne Kimi Raikkonen okujja okuva mu Formula 1 okujja mu WRC era bato yalingangawo nti stunt driver ne Formula 1 driver ani anaperforminganga better mu WRC. So child causing a lot of interest and excitement yalinga y'amaanyi ne performance nga bolowooza twalowooza nti akola drift ezo Gymkhana ozw'amaanyi bw'anatuuka mu WRC ndowooza ajja kuba mutemu nnyo naye yasanga ye certain Sebastian Loeb ng'amugambye papa tula wabbali tukoleya.
Okay, may Ken Block's soul keep resting in eternal peace. Of course, Marseille was a challenge even last year. That's when Craig Breen passed on. Very disturbing news. Anyway, away from that, into wrap that 2024 to Malaysia, so that we can talk about going into a topical discussion of today, which was the FM's driver symposium yesterday. F1, Max Verstappen won his 4th title in a row, and McLaren won their first title manufacturers after 26 years, Constructors' Championship after 26 years. A number of records in there. Hamilton switching from Mercedes to Ferrari in that 100 and plus Yeah, event here Las Vegas producer Ted Cow. That's when Max Verstappen won his 4th title in a row. But that's him and Joe. In a nutshell, how has 2024 been in F1?
I think since Mad Max started winning championships, Zagondi, there was the last 2 years, especially last year, has been the most competitive. Competition with the other people. Hamilton yali achivuddemu ne tulowooza nti okay, yes, this man is coming, but mulimu bwolaba gundi races zaalimu mulimu Sergio Perez is showing up, mulimu Russell is showing up, mulimu Lando Norris is showing up. Then waliwo twatuukawo nga n'emmotoka ya Red Bull is not performing very well, so there were a lot of other elements that were coming up. Fortunately yali yafuna dda a cushion of points to take him there. But at least the championship, most of the, especially the half a sembayo Yomako Guede, was very exciting because it was no longer as predictable. So it remained very exciting. I think mulimu elements tetusubira mu drivers okuja. For example, Sija Balimans, Lando Norris had never been in part of my equation. Even after 2-3 nannies, but I was very shocked going into the 16th, 17th event. This gentleman is actually a force to reckon with. So Formula 1 ended up closing on a high and very exciting every which way. Yes, to see that Mad Max Verstappen again akuwangula ekintu kuba yali akoze good ennungi. But surprisingly, Mercedes gye bali balulinze out ended up showing some signs of brilliance. It's actually not as bad of technically over the So the competition was a bit close in every which way. For my only sad thing about Formula 1, especially last year, is Daniel Ricciardo. In my view, Daniel Ricciardo agena kubula nga, I don't know, I can't tell it was you a Kankunen over on a gentleman yalimu Ford. Miko Hivonen. Yes, at least Daniel came with so much promise, made very many team mistakes, switching teams from Red Bull to Renault. He didn't give Renault a chance to then to the other one. Eventually, he ended up losing his form and everything. Then he got benched. Now he came as a reserve driver. Fortunately, Nibamwayoka stand here and I think even drove in the last event. But tell you very clear. But other than that, I think Formula 1 ended on a high. I pray that if they come March, it starts again on the high in which it ended.
Okay, 2025, this season? Who on that grid can break the dominance of Max?
The McLaren has shown potential, very good potential. Fight here, Red Bull. I'm very sure ajja kuteekawo nga Lando Norris ne team ye bajja kuteekawo performance y'amaanyi. Tuyinza okulaba rejuvenated Mercedes Benz basing on nti kyemanyi Russell abadde somehow suffocated kubanga balina Hamilton tamoya so ayinza okuba ajja kwe rejuvenatinga okumiwona amaanyi. Then Ferrari Leclerc ne Ham Mukama Katonda yamanyi kwetu kubanga nze kinali manyi ekituufu nti singa Ferrari mukuleta mukuleta Ham ndoza bali bayitaga kutereeza mmotoka eno. With a very good car they can achieve many things. It's not a very good driver. Omuvuzi omulungi ne bona amuleta nga mmotoka ekyali shiti oba ekyali mbi nga bwe badde ndoza oyinza okupata olina kyamanyi kyogenda kukyusa kubanga kyoba omanya nti ekyakuba Red Bull nga season eggwako kyeba discovering ne bakyusa. Red Bull is going to come back stronger, making good amends. Bekola amends kitakutegeeza nti ejja kuba the car to beat followed by McLaren. The technology of McLaren jebadde developing ze. Those are going to be the cars to beat. With Ferrari ejja kuba ozeemu kulwana na Mercedes wansi. Oba na kitali kyo na Austin Martin. Ntegeera so olwokuba emmotoka yekyali as not as competitive as it was before. So nze ndowooza kyali move entuufu yali yakuleeta designer oba engineer omutuufu bafuna chance ya Adrian Newey bwe yava mu Red Bull. I thought they are going to take him up yagenda mu tiimu ndala ekitegeera so ate ng'olaba nti waba Newey yagenze mu Aston Martin expect an improved Aston Martin come 2025 ate ne budget Bajirina. Yes.
Okongereza ku kintu kya Aaron one time on this show twachogerako and my view was and I still contend nti Hamilton at his level of competition and technical knowledge I don't think alimu katika Alonso he has that experience. He might not exactly score the championships but it's normally mu Ferrari to develop the car because there are very few drivers who can develop the car. Whatever there are his issues with Mercedes he has been, as the tracks and theories I've read he has been showing what should happen and the technical team, whatever as you call her, they'll actually test them on Russell's car. But until the last 3-4 events when they actually did the same test on his car, then you could see the performance of the Mercedes. So he's a good team. He's very good at building cars. So we were now quite the same element. I expect to see a better performance from Charles Leclerc and from that Ferrari car because I don't really discount the Ferrari car of 2019, 2021. Meant that car was really very, very good. Just that the drivers were a bit jumpy.
There's a team yaina buzibu. Ugero ta pit stop no kola 3.6 ngapa no bakola 2.3. Era azezo.
Okay, Max ngatumvuddeko nga tumaliza F1 wrap. Hamilton berisali tu akufana Hamilton officially is a Ferrari is the driver.
Is a red car.
A red car. Driver so tu akufana ya officially become
you take on Formula 1.
Ono wa Red Bull.
Bagera Piastri.
Mukenya wa
Bagera Piastri. Bagera team. Bagera Piastri. But Hamilton officially becomes a Ferrari driver and yeah, it's really good for him and sija kubuza anticipation zo very very negative but I wish Hamilton can really perform and jana mutaginga nga mugawaye company no wali wakuba naye take over performance of silencing you talk about Hamilton developing
the ever following teams I go with individuals and I will still go with Hamilton only that this time around I'll jump to Lando Norris as a very good driver and I'm hoping that there's going to be a four-way element that I expect better performance from Russell. I expect Hamilton to really push up.
By the Hamilton yafuka Ferrari driver officially natekayo kakafana nyako ngali ku go-kart ku Instagram handle ye abali kufa TV mukala kuva buto
nti yali ko Ferrari
yali
Ferrari kutoka yakaterekana
nakala bane Instagram mu kana kaive
those are mementos archives ngabo ganje kulaga jovuddewo kutoka
yakaterekana
very very young boy
ngali mukati
nkako abali kufa TV mukala be 44 okay what maliza Hamilton
yes so I have Hamilton I have Lando Norris, I have Russell, I have Charles Leclerc to be a bit more competitive up there. So there are six events into the season. Table Jacoba etanzo shaking.
Okay, we watch the space. Producer Sotu aku Alonso's numbers mu 2020 so far mu career. Fernando Alonso naye Adrian Newey okuja mu Aston Martin surely those Alonso will definitely those numbers will
going to be improved.
Those numbers improving. Kubanga is a legend Alonso without a doubt and Alonso's F1 career in numbers. Naye those this year should be kind of okay those Alonso Akola entries 404 stats binamwemu aina championships bili tane bili mukaga aina wins asatu mu bili podiums 10 mukaga career points
nkumi bili mu 3
pole positions as mu bili fastest laps
abili mukaga
what a career really But I think Adrian, I don't know, Kujao. More of that, I think Alonso will definitely improve on that.
Technical.
He will improve on that.
Nengo
Congola Championship.
Mine's struggling. He's not a bad driver. Sometime back, Bagamanga, he was the most gifted F1 driver on the circuit. Sometime back, I don't know, with Max and everything coming up with the Randos. So about statement, a holding a water. Naye is way good. Maybe what has been letting him down is the car. Katafunye technical personnel nga munyiwi tasobola okukola ebirungi ku motoka katulowooze nti ate balaze ndoza reliability motoka yaabwe dona ku power unit yaabwe eraze nti letting her down, so I think they can put up a very good performance nga bakoze ebituufu n'okutula. Let's say baina
Okay, then producer so tuwa ku calendar F1 ya 2025 ya this year batandika of course testing and the testing then in a first event in Melbourne. I can't wait for that event in March. Should show us what we expect from, because a sneak peek, though early days into the season, but it gives you what to anticipate ahead of the whole season, which is full of very many events. Testing that is from 18th Feb. That's a launch. Then first event is 14th up to 16th of March 2025. This season has 23 events. The last one being Qatar, and the end was China. Then we're gonna have March,
Las Vegas, Austin, America nayo bili yao.
America ina satu.
Last year by Nanya,
Miami.
Last year they had 4, so they have 3 this year.
They have 3 this year.
Azerbaijan Kweri, street race. Netherlands Kweri.
United Kingdom, Silverstone.
Monaco, Canada, Montreal.
Italy, Monza.
Yeah, so let's hope and see
Belgium,
how
Spa.
2025 does. Okay, watch the space. Think first event upon us on the 14th of the 16th of March 2020.
China yokubiri kuluna.
China yokubiri. Noza bakikoze omuntu ova Australia ali osala busazi. China they nokola Japan. No man people had reservations in the WRC card.
Kitegeeza kyo kya Bahrain launch test. Ndaba Bahrain waliwo wadde Bahrain is a test, not a round. But then in fact there is guys arrange their calendar anti bakuwa or if you look at South America ola okola US nokola Mexico, not the Brazil, not the US. South America no man South Newaguru ingo ofudde room kati pad reservations on the WRC calendar. Producer knows I told you to work on myself because we are done and said with F1. Then in WRC, as before you go in for a break, in a nutshell, Thierry finally after 10 years Achikola. It's reminds the thing with the rallying, motor rallying especially, is in a fair stage. Ringa golf, and I've told people it's like the game golf. It doesn't matter how many times you practice a stage on rally day. You stage different practice as soon as that's the challenge in motorsport.
With the rally.
No rally.
Practice on that stage. No, what you going to on rally day. I don't know. Very. What happened. So it has actually been very interesting, and just Ngabo I was not exactly rooting for who? For Hyundai. I mean, Terry Nuvo. But okusuzaku hope jena muinamu ngachali mu Ford nti yagenda kuteka oje ku bunkenke. I was very happy that this worked for him. Me, I'm still sticking with my guy Elvin Evans. Unfortunately, God rest his soul in peace, Craig Brinya Chivamu Nandekera Evans. So for him, he's the guy I'm still rooting for, and I am really hoping to see the likes of Sam Payari and Martin Sesks get back into the picture. Ogundia Nenga last year was very competitive. Evans was showing elements of that flash, but what still shocked me is that Calero Vampera and Sebastian Ogier, who are doing intermittent championships, not a full season, for some reason they kept on being in the loop.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
what?
In fact, if Kala had not even retired in Finland, he should. Yeah, anyway, we first going for short commercial break. Come out wrapping up WRC. Then to get a championship year and how 2024 has been with just Mangat winning his fourth championship, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2024. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's a Podium program every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review in the world of motorsport. We keep saying Happy New Year and a prosperous 2025. Program, the Podium, the program in Aaron Samba, who have something in common in rallying. I think good enough by the day. So kudos to Gilberto Valonde. Gilberto, Afande Rule. Edson Munjereza
kiri ku record na Aaron zina musoka mu motoka competitively hayenze ne malako my first event
so you can spell mu CV mu first event DNF first event DNF you get the kadugana it reminded me of the event in Gawaya Masaka 2016 Gawaya, I mean that rally had a night stage. Yana night stage is big. Kadugala, then yana Kasana Chinobero. Kadugala Kekali Akamp, I think it was 6 kilometers. Then Kasana Chinobero it was 25 kilometers. So but when as a night face in Evidala. But Adam Rauf, Sebuguza as well, posted very good times. Musakabega. Very good times in that stage, but unfortunately we didn't manage to twali muserika utasobola kubanga tumala ku event here. Kale before prior to that break twatogera ku
serika yalagawa
serika yagawa
yavuga
simanyi
omwami wameta
oba watendo yajivugako
kafumbe yajivuga kafumbe yasoka najivuga Gawaya najivuga, then somewhere along the way it disappeared.
Okay, part of that break, we're talking about the Road Rally Championship, how 2024 has been and anticipations in 2025. Aaron, Thierry, in fact, part of the Thierry winning his first championship in 10 years. I take account to never give up in what you're doing. He came from very, very far and he's a world champion now. And I think well deserved for him consistency, but there are very many drivers. Benandi Rosa and Tivandi was so long championship. Yeah, that's our fatigue. We never give up. That is a world champion at last in Thierry. By the way, season I was stage wins. WRC stage wins winner. 400 WRC stage wins. So what a year it has been for him.
It's been a good year for him. Era well deserved. Congratulations. It will go on record. Mulimu bencha subida nti mukama bakwateko bafune win. One of them is Evans.
I don't see Evans and kind of cheering. Maybe it's one of the two, but Evans a man Chivam and Thierry kept in there.
And his area Chivam, the cemetery has been dropping out in other events. Kwa kugamba 5-6 years running, he will come second. So finally he jumped that hurdle and became first. Ojitana Kanea, he also has one. Kale has two. The fight they're going with an 8-time what? 8-time winner, 8-time rally championship winner, and a couple of other people in there. So it was a very good event for him. 2025 is going to be even more interesting because in Zimbabwe the young Turks have showed up, and mulimu akantu arakatiro kozesa in our Kaswa talk. They have no respect for what? Their elders. So bagena kuja baragomyo. So I want to tell you, Oitanak, it's no longer given that you have attained a certain status, you are now protected. It's no longer given. So it is going to be very, very, very competitive. But congratulations to Terry. I am now for 25. I'm rooting for my man Evans. yafune at least
back to Evans.
Yeah, 242 points. Evans 10, Tanak.
World champion. Contractors.
Evans points asatu mu bbiri nasinga Tanak points ana mu bbiri. Evans nasinga Tanak points 10. Manufacturers and well deserved because value on double. 561 and 558, a difference of only 3 points. For the ones in 295.
As next answers, I can just have some point. Now on talk of you. Did Hyundai losing the champion? What manufacturers championship? To Chukwasako Tanak, or you can go back a couple of events and say this is where they lost it from.
Then there was about up to the last stage of up to the time of the Sunday morning. Wanga Tanak losing out on that rally, causing all hell block loose. If Tanak had stayed in that race, no we are walking up past the FF, championship, things would have been different. Tanak losing that position on that final distance.
Never guy abo Thierry ne Tanak. Ne adumu wali mu team eyo. Because Tanak agenda kujja mu team ngamazo wangola championship. Right? So yasanga Thierry yali number 1 driver wa team and the team failed to choose who's number 1 in my view. Because adumu yabaga you go out. And ate yali instrumental nyo mu kulowaringa Tanak okujja mu team. Now in such a situation it is still but they in my view balemwa or handling because there was no way to so kubange bajja ko championship eno you have two drivers because Tanak yennyini gubasinga points ana mu bbiri yajja mu eventing alowooza maybe he can win it
and also
take the driver's title ate chakamindi yali nnyo ku driver's title because if it wasn't if he had accepted it it's kind of far it's not my more risk ogenda kuchiri yandibadde team efuna championship ebadde efuna manufacturers title but I think Casta Chaga unlike in F1 where you've seen there's yali Hungary where Lando ila kulembedde the race and Bastane bamugamba back out for Piastri najjam in one I think out of 70 laps kulapa yankaga mu musanvu because just backs out genda jana muitako and drives because the body by preparing up my India Piastri for this season agenda kuba defending Lando so team orders again fokachi so if Oscar had Lando had refused there's no way Oscar would return the same favor so no one Tanak ne Thierry unless those are because kati maybe but now equal terms buli mu champion kati maybe that's when they can I can come with their own submission nti singa Tanak tiyaita chivudde mwanga ya chivamu maybe bali waso because they only lost it out by only 3 points
together.
Yeah, so they have
so if Tanak had accept ngabogame team orders
it's risky okunonya drivers but we can win the manufacturers as a team which era chakana Hyundai nzo za chibanyiga nakati chino kwanga chiri so hard
which begs my next question to the both of you katumu team does it increase the conflict and then give the advantage to Terry? Because from what I have understood right now, Hyundai has made its roster and Terry is the number 1 driver and Tanak is number 2. But Simanyoba Molabiako says man and machine, the way they talk about M-Sport. I think in the second one called Legacy, when Tanak was driving for Ford, Malcolm Wilson says that guy does not listen. He's very stubborn. There's nothing I can do about him. And he costs
and I think Tanak na yeye nyine muguli omwaka we yajja mu Hyundai naye ina chance wangula championship and Thierry almost did the same so the fact into why ina issues ezo that is why he even decided kasoka stepping out akolechi aveo nasoka na demo Ford right of course he didn't okay bayambako developing emotoka but teba competing because even this season Ford babadde ne points 295 ku ku manufacturers. The difference between them and these other two guys is night and day. Era for no okubeera waawo, it can't win the manufacturers championship because one, they have limited number of drivers. Mweno line up ya this year Toyota elete motoka nnya. Inabagaya abali permanent, abali full time bana. No ku part time, that is Oje. Kati Sami Payari, Evans, Kalero Vampera, ne who else is in there? Evans, Payari, Naro Vampera, Oje, of course. Kati, how are you going to compete against such a team? Hyundai nowadays, but 3 drivers, Tanak Thierry, Nefomo, moving from 4 to very good move for him. I think maybe at 29 a chance at Emuto, he can try to give these guys a run for their money. But Hyundai, imposing Amazon never damn. But in terms of winning them, what this is already not one how to Karakomi is the man to beat. The question is, again, no Moody's. Why, Boabe, now just taking a point on board for Toyota. Evans, I just take a call for Toyota. Nezili person, Sami Payari, very good driver, very young, I just take a couple points. Now, gave us a former, you know, something to prove. But the question is, as a team, can they listen to maybe others in Aziz and for the betterment of the team? Because Chatulaze, in the last event, that wasn't the case.
I think Hyundai will suffer the same element unless they figure out how to trim Tanak.
The Tanak.
Which never chicken the Tanak, which was so Kamutunde, again with Ford by a benefit. Somewhere, if Ford can get a budget to run a very competitive driver. But by way Tanak Asokavem to Hyundai.
Okay, police are sort of line up here rather the calendar 2025 WRC. Monte Carlo abiri musatu paka abiri mukaga, Sweden 13 paka 16 Feb. Then Kenya, that's our focus is 23rd. Era olaba bakoze events kati Monte Carlo Sweden, Wovao Sino, yes. Then Wovao genda Kenya, Wove Kenya okola Spain and Italy. Those countries are just so that's how they design. Safari Easter weekend. The design of the calendar has a trickle down effect. Catalonia. I know man Dayo. Las Vegas, it doesn't. It's a logistical nightmare. So that's how that informs the designing of the calendar. So 14 rounds, Saudi Arabia, by the way, that's 10 years. That's a contract promoter just signing another. So it's another event on the calendar. So we can't wait for the safari, which is upon us 20th up to 23rd of March 2020. Box Katos how far?
Akachi Kabox. Kabox
Safari Jodi.
Safari Jendi is just hoping that nothing disorganizes that weekend in terms of ethics, because unfortunately you factor in the entertainment part of it and the potential for some growth that you can pull. So you end up having opportunity. I've taken that choice. I make it a lot. Yeah,
that is event Dako. It's okay in Monte Carlo. That's a statement they have them Toyota field of course by Evans Oje, Kalero Vampera, and then Takamoto Katsuta.
As the permanent drivers.
Yes, in fact then of course in the Sami Payari again Okubamu. So let's wait. Event here Monte Carlo entries in some it will run from the 23rd up to 20th. So it's upon us, and 23rd to 26th of January. We'll definitely keep you more.
Now the media rights that WRC Omakaguno, it's going to have an expanded coverage. So what about only WRC one
and a few
and the podium of a certain the podium mention of WRC 2 and nothing else. And it's going to be expanded to cover the whole event. I don't know what in their language whole event means. Whether it is on WRC 3 or all the cars that participate. I've had occasion to catch it once or twice, where you actually watch a field of WRC of all the cars. And there are 70, 80 cars. But which why I keep saying
the whole event will come and name is a priority. What non-priority cars?
Exactly. The truth is a national. Because This ERC coverage was supposed to give you the nationals in those countries, including WRC. So if the coverage is expired, then I hope TV, you can see quite a bit of that. But there's some Arab sports good. It's called Arab sports. Eraganyo MOTORSPORT. It shows you the whole event plus. I don't know where they get their coverage from. It shows you all the cars. Now, Mbademagam, I've had the misfortune of being at two of these rallies last year, where you actually see all the cars. And I keep asking myself, to where entries are namusatu, and we don't keep time. I tell you about never vuge motoka chinana. Time does not change. And all the cars run, but you call about it. So I asked a guy, where's the complication? This is the itinerary, isn't it? I have programmed that from number 1 to number 70 is 87 minutes. Anything that changes in between is penalized accordingly, including VAM equation together, as long as you do not shift. So everybody has that briefing. You already have the A to Z of your operation. So you see, perhaps my mother is not entertained. Has started deviating away the cable to sorting. So people actually lose chance to move to as long as
to keep up.
When you jam automatically, because the penalty for keeping yourself there is much higher. Hopefully we shall pick from there. Keeping a time measure. It is an organizational thing that we can actually maintain. So let's look at what this season looks like. Hopefully the coverage will also be very interesting.
Okay, away from the WRC into which has 14 events, F1 has 23 events for full. Kenya, the national rally championship. But Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda, Zambia, Tanzania, Ivory Coast, NANKULABYE, I saw their calendar as well. Belgium changed the champion of Ivory Coast for 2024. Citron, C3, so he's competing against nobody else because of the power of the car. Much talk about him doing ARC. You can't watch the space. Now, almost it's every weekend. You have events after events after events. But of course, on Podium, posted. Kale, away from that, yesterday, the initial calendar, the calendar, draft calendar, FME Fuluma. The driver symposium, the weekend was not as per the draft calendar. So even Leon explained that it was shifted to cater for a few things. So and a number of deliberations were made. Good enough, he was there. He made a contribution in regards to insurance.
Did I make the contribution?
Yeah, it was a contribution. It's still a contribution. Even a complaint is a contribution. Even a complaint is a contribution. You also had very good questions asked there. A number of drivers in there. So Baba de Banafing, after TV to Abadeyo, Oriambuzolu and Gachikoza. Kachadambuza. Chimpisao, competitor. Yeah, competitor. And actually, as an ambuze joke, we get a Chimpisao, then I'm out there, that would be amazing. But nevertheless, it was a very, very good interaction. First things first, for starters, before you go for a break, Joe, what did you make of that symposium? And before you get into
apart from the format of the presentation, nti ba focuses ekisoka ku ebintu ebipya, then we kawatutwala mu the rest of the elements which have come. Then those we still have a challenge as competitors of taking a time or analyzing ebintu before we go for these sessions. Everybody went into that session okumanya what the issue is, what
as in reading the draft,
analyze it and have a position and recommendation, or as usual tutuukawo tuuze batugamba ne tuvaawo nebyo tuli. Then my concern is also eventually when suggestions were made, just manyi whether this was a symposium to show you what is going to run so that you make an input into it and it is covered, or you are just being told what you're going to expect. If it's the former, nti chote seza chizo chukamu, then it makes sense. Uchwanga tachigenda chuka, then just send the document. People want to watch some bageneva bafena. What I would have rather preferred is I want you show them how this is going to affect your rallying in the season as what? As a regulation. As opposed to this what is going to happen, then either agree with it or disagree with it.
Yeah, to me, before I get Aaron's input after the break, what I saw is throughout those interactions that we have had a number of them. Interfacing with the commission, then I think till end of Depo's tenure, we also met the management committee and which made a number of pledges in there. Now, it's like we have, they give you a draft, but you are prior, it was, say what you call a summarized PowerPoint presentation of the changes. Katira changes is about the national competition rules. The changes ziri mu blue. Kati wano the document is big. Kati yalonze mwezo. Ezo eziri
highlighted
in main book Nazetan, and we deliberated on them. I think that and more is what we're going to talk about at a short commercial break. Those changes, which are in draft form, definitely if they are passed, we will definitely get back here and after being ratified by the executive committee. Then appendix R, which has the costs of including that increment from 100,000 to 200,000 air competition license as per the draft. Alright, come back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium to our last segment of today's show. We back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review beneath in the world of motorsport. Aaron Samba, Joe Brewer, and I wish you a prosperous 2025. This is our first show, and hope you're enjoying yourself. Well, prior to that break, we'll get the Federation meeting competitors. Of course, it was management, sporting commission, but more so, sporting commission, having the draft being out, baada ya kuitamba computer, some of the changes is also dobanga zikole. And Aaron, for starters, a number of changes is suggesting it is related to sporting the sporting commission, because the sporting commission is a technical arm of the sport, looks at those rules, a number of members in there. The DVP Nabiri Babako, Athablik ne Joshua Mayanja, Atha representing motorcycling, Joshua Mayanja representing motor rallying, Leon Senyanga as well, Ali Omar in there.
What on a DVP were?
Yeah, no vintage by the way.
Vintage.
Angela. So, by the time I take and you go through and have the deliberations, but even if you are so dokwanga, computers are suggesting was when do we have our competitions? I saw Anthony is been making a lot of necessary noise about it, and about it, and it might yield something hopefully about having our rallies on Fridays and Saturdays like it was in Guru. I remember I had a talk with Joshua Mayanja before the symposium about the start order, that innovation ejam 2019. He met some resistance because balabanga start practical ngale sijja kukola naye nga basama mpeyo de one yokka ababaji muwa twetambulira ku reverse order ngojeko mu PAL president no event SMBA utataniki mu the ascending to descending before tambula descending to abali kufati byadde ne mugamba chaka yabadde ayongera kunnyonnyola nsonga ya why do we need to run on Friday and Saturday, not on Saturday and Sunday?
Deliberations zabadde za nyingi era bintu bingi ebyakoneddwako in all ways tugezaako kutereeza muzannyo tufune environment ennungi mwetukola ki mwetulalingira. Ebimu ku byasuggestingiddwa byebyo nti omuvuzi abaako yenyo atejjukira nti ye muntu omu addayo okunoonya ssente ku Monday, okunoonya ssente za event eddako. Gwe ng'omutegesi maybe oyinza okuba nga owummudde kubanga ogwo guba guwedde ogw'omwaka ogwo, oyinza kulinda event ndala, naye ejjukira omuvuzi ono yagenda okuvuga embalala, yalina okutegeka mu mwezi gumu agenda avuge Southern Motor Club, yetegeke mwezi ebiri avuge Palo, yetegeke mwezi ebiri avuge Jinja, ye muntu y'omu. So the request nti event zino zirunning Friday ne Saturday, that Sunday gives people some time to rest or travel back from rallying village. Rally abadde embalala. Sunday is for you to travel, relax. Then Monday you're back at it kunoonya sente za event ekolate eddako. So your suggestion yemwe yagenze maaso. Then but to take event ku kintu kya restart ekyali so buzibu kuzaba munalabye nga bajjayo ne kubutiba abaleni naye nga my interest yali eri nti bwe mba nkoze restart nga luwe nkoze restart on penalizing nze, why should it be a problem for me to restart? At the end of the day, image ya event egenda bulungi maaso nti the finishers and running cars zikyali nnyingi mweziri. Yes, ekyokubiri omuvuzi nga ye abadde dropping out. Just imagine mu stage esooka ku Sunday ku majanga report ya dropping out ku Saturday, afuna sit time ey'okwongerayo okufuna. So and at the end of the day, the more you sit in that car, the more you get that comfort okusobola kwongera. So ebintu bingi bayogeddeko, then bayogedde ku changes eza license ey'omwaka najo kyadde tempers zalinye, naye ndowooza byonna nga byetwasuggestinze biddeyo mu bakama baffe babitereeze before 24th-26 January bwe tuba tugenda okuba nga tugenda okuvuga event yaffe esooka.
Yeah, and nayogeddeko ku when do we rally other countries. COVID we're having one day events. Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, our neighbors are having one day events. Wano bagamba it should 2-day events, compact that scrutineering day. What we are suggesting is scrutineering. Initially, there was a suggestion into day 1 70% of the rally, day 2 30% to rally to Gwemangu. Then I think it was Mchakazi suggestion that let's have day 1 30, day 2 70%. Have scrutineering from 7 to 10. Run your first 2 stages from maybe 11 to midday or afternoon. Go into the super special stage. Then okujako chibera okusinza kuchera tubala nti the end of leg service eda chikana mu 5 tujja jimalanga slightly late. It's much understandable. Go rest Saturday, do the 70%, then
full marathon on
Saturday. But Joe, another change maybe yabadde ku about the, of course, the CRC byazaawo, yeah, that one. Producer Jatuwade license fees. International fees to $50. The Lizard Federation is waiving. The issue is Bagam. This time on the computer you have to foot. I'm going to represent my country. Why would I need to pay? Levy that, of course. Renach clearing. You have to pay that money. It goes to the FIA. This is a federation. $250.
Yagezaawo okunyonyola ekyo international license. In all honesty, sakitegedde. If oba lweyakitegedde
yalagamba nti luli federation yali ezisasula ng'ekusasulira. That's why you call it a waiver. Naye ng'ate National Federation yali ekola ki? That money, it does not go into the federation coffers.
So who eventually owns that license?
The competitor.
So if they have been paying all this time, where are the licenses they have been paying for? People have been participating in ARC events.
I remember one time Obaba Ali buying international licenses. Ali ne Asimnas.
Yes, but bafune ezabwe. because it is provided for. You can actually apply for
So
a
your point is
license if you choose. Now, all Bolaba rally we're running, international is about crossing borders. It's about national representation. When you go for an event and your identity is based on the nationality of your license, church take as a license is holding near country. Rwanda, Burundi, whatever. They say where this competitor from is from Uganda, the license. So no Muzungu, when a license here Uganda, you what? You be registered as what? A Ugandan competitor, licensed competitor. But they will never say that the winner is Uganda. They'll say that Awangu Day is Aaron and Kenya. It never says Uganda, especially in rallying. What referred to as the international event, there's world championships. They don't reflect the license of your country, they reflect your passport. That's what becomes international. Participating in events at that level to keep running up and down, in my understanding, is what it means. So you apply for a license to rally at that level. Now between grade A, grade B, grade C, now there is that one to be there. So yes, the what I find interesting about those costs is none of the costs that are increasing now on competitors. Costs that take which makes it a bit expensive for a competitor to seek redress. For the official who is going to be part of the rally, which I thought was a little bit unfair. But I think that if it's about to make money from the nani, let every official now qualify. Actually, unga competitor wagule motoka ne yambaza bichibicha, on top of that you pay competition license of 150, money 200. You also go through those courses, pass them, and invest a little bit further in yourself, and actually having a license, which should also be equal.
So the competition license for competitors, you have the 100,000 to 200,000. Competitors had their own issues on that. We watch the final output of that. The license,
well, Anthony Chiagos is that what is the benefit of that increment? I think that's when the issue of insurance came up.
That issue of insurance, I don't know.
About rally team registration, for you to say the Matayo rally team, the name, you must have paid 1 million shillings. Yeah, and it's those are something.
It has been there for a long time.
Yeah, it has never been implemented. Annual competition number, annual competition number registration,
Bobo got a number for only 1 year. Singa Jonas Wabadakola 100 Jagala for this year. Bobo Jagala for a lifetime computer number registration. Bobo Kakade 99 Jugula 7 Jugula for life.
Sodo 7 Sodo for 7.
Jugula.
Police are so to a slide the Dako. But yeah, then failure to contact event of between
FME event officials. I think that Chibwanyo organizer. Usually FMU gives you officials who are going to be part of the rally. Kadgwengo organizer, you're supposed to get in touch with them and do 1, 2, 3, 4. But this problem is both at federation and at organizational level. Even the communication with the officials is not formal.
Yeah.
Bakwere Senegal Aaron Gwegundi Nechukomao. Oh, Kokananga, I tell you go about day of 9 is about you're the one who follows up. So
then Federation you had the emitwalo 15 of the displaying a logo za FMU okuwayo late reports COC accident reports emitwalo 10 mutwalo gumu by the way late per day to go in as well in 15 days. Kati bunaku oluyitamu
after the
15 days there's a charge on that. Then
submitting reports.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
Then competing without a license or a incorrect license.
That's
million.
That's a road.
Now issue has them about how do you how do you've not issued them out, so how
Go and, you know,
I think national driving permit it also embeds this. Then noble officials mitwala asatu.
So failure to compete with a what?
A valid.
Forgery. I pay 1 million. Then what happens to my results?
You forfeit them. Though it's not the chiri.
When you don't have, you also lose your points.
Yes. Plus points loss as per article 2.2.7 stuff.
And then that's all. Chukoma kati nze Nasa Road for Jinze driving permit. Mvuze event njiwangu. At the end of the day, after 6 events, you discover that guy Chiakola is actually leading the table. But for the last 5 events, I've been putting you on pressure and Sigawari were good. So when I lose those points, the fact that I have to pay that fine and lose those points, that unsportsmanly behavior of forgery should have its own weight because it's an indiscipline case. It falls away from me to fair play. I am cheating. I should be penalized for that also.
I think our system is so cool. Mugondiza penalties they do. They are so called. There are very many of them in there. So they can look for anyone the appropriate, but never quite. Then and that okay, which person is the Jeninako reservation which you didn't rose up our hands to say it that about the appeal fees. Previously appeal a million naked appeal by Jongo's a million bid. So otekayo
appeal to what? Zaba dezabirundi ni
million bid.
Yasigade e appeal on the FMU appeals committee. You yasigade ku 1M. Appeals to the National Court of Appeal. Ile ya all sports ye ya million ye bid. Ya Uganda ngayo yasigade ku 1M. Latula iketwachogede ku government protest ya 25. Right to review 5. Then appeal to the FMU tribunal ya 1M.
What appeals was it? What national stroke international event appeal to a tribunal to a court of appeal million bid.
Yes.
No better yeruwe.
Yeni ya wagulia national not the
okay. Then there is a national stroke international event appeal to FMU appeal court against a tribunal decision million bid yeruwe.
Damu
national stroke international event appeal to FMU appeal court against a tribunal decision million bid.
Yes. The appealing a tribunal constituted by FMU, it's 2 million. Ne wali we nga ogena kweta ba steward aba the South Africa bichi nga bageno jitulamu yemeka
yebili.
Then events below non-championship event appeal to FMU Court of Appeal, non-championship events, club is so take event below non-championship event appeal to FMU Court of Appeal against a tribunal decision, right to review, last year,
always Dakar.
Last year, tealimu yo mateka.
Tealimu yo.
Tealimu, and it gagged very many
people.
But good enough.
Figure tealimu.
Yajitugamba.
Figure tealimu. Yando za chaba kwata nnyo. That's why this time back at the kumacho jitekamu.
It was a learning lesson. Appeal to FMU National Court of Appeal million wasoma rule ya the constitution. It take a governing the article that a quarter National Court of Appeal. Baba Gamanti. They have 30 days to dispose of an appeal from the time it is filed. Incident ya Malmayanje Kapeka, year 2019. It took him 4 years.
But 2022
to get a decision.
Justice delayed.
He was denied justice. Appealed by individuals to FMU Court of Appeal. When do you appeal to FMU? Appeal to FMU. Appeal by individuals to FMU Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal is the highest court we have.
I think this one is I'm telling
you sporting.
Yes. Back suspend then appeal by individuals to FMU National Court of Appeal mtwala 5. appeal by individuals to FMU National Court of Appeal mtwala 5.
Adewe bintu bingi awe bya.
Then appeal by FMU licensed official mtwala 10 kitegerekeka. If an official has an issue asobola okugendayo. Then intellectual property tugenda osembyayo because our time is fast spent. Naming rights of any Ugandan stroke FMU Championship Challenge Trophy Cup nakuza ku article 10. Zale sende meka nayo
au nayombyewo. Mitwala abiri. Ibyo masolo kunenga.
Aje yagambye. Yanextion nazo neza kuno mwaka.
Kamwe abiri. Event mukaga ngo jeke ya palo noza. Kamwe abiri. Ezo bazimpe zo nanze waddeyo. Ngaziba kamwe abiri. Bajite change akala kibajita.
Did the rule exclude pal? Did the rule exclude pal?
Azisagala pal.
Right.
Azijagala jagala mukaga. Zijagala mukaga musidadde. Njagala mukaga.
Androstagala pal.
Eyo nze sponsor.
Ewe mugaga.
Ezo mugaga.
Discretion. Then it is prohibited to use FMU commercial rights without permission.
But nange. Is that how really our championship?
Zezo marketing rights to government we lose opportunity.
Ngo sajanga janga gamba bajita success speed nga mukayana.
Yabagamba bali mujagala muzizi. Nga kilabu zezi. Bajo overall did in your view did the symposium jebyangamba nti agambye nti the sabo it was jebi musaga mambo it was a competitor agambye nti but book that was not FMU symposium, it was a drivers organized symposium. Why he said the only other anyonyola draft calendar nakola eno symposium ya shift is never one nedda one. So that is why I took up those words. But anyway, away from that, the calendar in 7 events, 7 rallies, 4 sprints,
4 autocross?
No, 5 autocross bazigase 6 autocross events, bazigase ne enduro. So instead of running a standalone autocross event, it will be run alongside.
Alongside and not all. Yes.
Out of the
6, I think.
There are some clubs which requested enduro, but running along the MX zabo, but almost enduro zabo. Not the autocross.
Okay, looking at the calendar, so you have 7 rallies, 4 sprints, 6 autocross events, 6 karting events. Karting last year there were 3 events, so we have now 6 karting events. Then ARC, you have Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania. What event here? I think it's Burundi. Ingira NRC 5.
Very closer.
Anjabayo. It's okay. Teyingira.
1 week.
Burundi.
1 week later.
Oba Burundi. Weekend edako bagenda mu NRC 5.
1 week later.
1 week later.
Bobere Burundi weekend yeno. Oli Ngonzi. Ovayo buvino sala. Nojja mu NRC 5. Which again raised.
Ati ngayo bagambye nti in any championship, first priority is always the national rally championship, not the ARC.
True. That's why Baba focus on event ezabo.
And the ball, but soccer fully comes the soccer fully. FM Federation Yakuliamu ya comes, right?
Yes.
So it's a chiva. I'll give an example. In 2019, twaina rally effort poto. We by innovating at the start order. Nenga ate wali film Africa.
That's MX.
Anti abayo wali film Africa. Nga Arthur Blick Junior ne George Semakula bali motoka yemu. Nenga ate balina abana bagenze mu film.
Yes, what
anti abayo for avoidance of doubt. You have how many international events do you have? Motocross or you name
Kenya?
I don't know, my submission here. Motocross or you name film Africa, right? It's once a year. Okay, let's see continental event. Go against Kenya. Is that rallying? You have the 6 or 5 or 6 is that ARC. You can still space your calendar.
Kati ku international event yongera ko enduro CS.
Okay, Enduro
CSC,
so why
Motocross CSC, those are two, and the FIM Africa, there are 3 more international motocross events.
So it's something food for thought anyway.
When you look at that calendar, really, the Natunu Muko, Nindaba, how those most especially the NRC are spaced along the 11 month. We have 7 events. Digital event yemwe ya PAL. Jeba wabavuzi be Uganda half a month, 1.5 month before it, and 1.5 month after it. The miezi esatu. Ntikira boda mo kuri distributing events zino oja kwesanga almost each and every event.
What's the rationale behind it? What's the rationale kwa PAL? What's the rationale kwa PAL obudo preparation?
It's an international event for preparation.
For ARC drivers, for local.
Now when PAL is a special breed of an event. Tosobola kunga manto jwa opportunities ezimo ngedjo wadenda lanti. Eriyo genda kupresentinga kinene nnyo.
We are out of time. Onagudemu akataka. We're out of time, and definitely, Joe Katononye, your parting shots in 1 or 2.
I think it was a good engagement. I'm only hoping our natural get there eventually. If there were suggestions which were taken, but reflecting, I'm running in as well. Moving forward,
it's a suggestion. There were suggestions.
There were suggestions.
So what was it?
Exactly. But if they don't come, let it not be the end of the world. However, it's very good to read and internalize these things, and I'm hoping that this symposium was initiated by competitors, asked the management to come and explain. Management should keep its symposium and actually get every person who has ever been an official, intends to be an official in an FMU event, and take them through the same rules, to do the same symposium. But this is how it's going to. But issues of interpretation, because what always hurts us is interpretation at the end of the day.
I think about so much money. We are out of time. We definitely get back next week with all the latest and out of motorsport. We wish you a good night and a happy new year. And motorsport.
We'll have one life to live, and we'll leave it with motorsport.
You know, we out and bye.